Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody! I am not happy! I'm not happy. Jeff, you don't look too happy.
No.
And of course, why would we be happy? After the shit we watched last night. Jeff, I think you brought it up. Baker Mayfield's the next Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, he's dippling dabbling in the TB12 plan. He's whatever Tom Brady's product is, he's taking it. Because it was a similar situation. You're down 13 with, 3 minutes to go, and Baker does that. And the Raiders do that as well.
It was the only thing that could ruin my Thursday night. And for 58 minutes, it seemed as if the Raiders had complete control of the football game. And Baker Mayfield.
Oh, gosh.
98-yard drive. Touchdown to win the game. Excellent throw.
Headbutting people
without a helmet. I mean, I am lost this morning. Having said that, they're still the 4th overall pick. They haven't moved down. It's not the end of the world.
And I think the Broncos will win a game or two. So we'll see.
I like to think. So hear me out, Jeff. I'm not going to sit here and say fire Josh McDaniels or any of that crap. I have a better solution. And something I like to do on most mornings is come up with solutions to difficult problems. And with Josh McDaniels, I think it's very simple. Paul Whelan is still in Russia. You pick up the phone, you say Josh McDaniels for Paul Whelan. Is it too late? I don't think so.
But is that a fair trade?
I think it's a very fair trade.
I would love you to ask Raiders fans that. I think they would probably...
I think they would vote 99% yes.
I think they would agree with you.
100%.
That's multiple leads this year the Raiders have blown.
They've blown 4 14-point leads this season. Or, excuse me, 10-point leads.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That is tied most in a single season in NFL history. They are choke artists under Josh McDaniels. I can't believe it. That was the most free game you could get. A short week. Baker Mayfield had arrived to the stadium shortly after you did for that game. And he shows up, and to his credit, I thought he played well. Sean McVay did a hell of a job of limiting what they were doing. It kept it all simple. You know, you can complain about what the Raiders were doing, what they didn't do. That game should have been a 30-10, 30-14 game. And the Raiders just wouldn't capitalize. Jalen Ramsey got beat a few times, but really recovered. And, I mean, let's be honest, he shut down Devontae Adams. 2 of his catches resulted in 70 yards. So he did a hell of a job after that.
Yeah, and he's been getting burned all year. So it was a big game for him.
That hurts. That hurts. You're still at pick number 4, Detroit. Don't worry. You're still at pick number 4. It's not the end of the world. Hopefully this is the last game that the Los Angeles Rams win. Now you're going to have to root for them hard to lose against those Broncos.
And
that's going to be a
the
tough
unfortunate part is Baker will no longer have a day and a half to learn the playbook. Now he's going to have another week with the playbook. And that's how I'm so shocked, too. I mean, to do that with a day and a half of preparation, and I know a lot of it, like you said, was vanilla, but still, I mean, it's impressive. I got to give credit to Baker there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Baker,
we crap
Sean
on Baker
McVay,
a lot. That was impressive.
Look, I mean, let's tell the full story on Baker. First year with Kevin Stefanski. Stefanski wins Coach of the Year. They win a playoff game. They make the playoffs. Obviously, they barely lose to the Chiefs, who go on to the Super Bowl that year.
Had a great year that year, too.
So, you know what? Baker has shown, hey, I need all of this around me and a really good coach, and I can win. No problem. That's fine. That's most quarterbacks anyways.
Right.
So, insert Sean McVay. You would imagine he would play better, and he did, but the problem is the Rams have nothing. They have Tutu Atwell, Skoranek, Van Jefferson.
Those are 3rd and 4th stringers.
Those are 3rd and 4th stringers, starting at 1, 2, and 3.
And Cam Akers, who never played.
Cam Akers, who they were trying to get rid of before the deadline. So,
yeah, no offensive line either.
Goodness me, that was such a punch in the gut. Josh McDaniels, I hate you. And I don't use the word hate very often, but I do. I strongly dislike you this morning.
There you go.
Derek Carr, I defended you. I was your best friend last year. I was propping you up like a good little boy. I was telling the world that if you could just get a decent head coach in there, that you could actually deliver something. and that you were working with a fake head coach all last year, and somehow you snuck your way into the playoffs. I propped you up. Devontae Adams, Josh McDaniels, even though he's turning out to be a complete scrub. And you are playing so bad. I don't get it. You controlled the ground game. Your defense had stifled the Rams all game. And in the fourth quarter, you know what you did, Jeff? You choked completely. Offensively, defensively, the coaching. It was the worst game I've watched in a long time. It was the worst game, but it's not the end of the world for the Lions. Like I said, they're still holding the number 4 overall pick, and I guess that's the conversation we can lead up with the Lions being in the position they are, 5-7. Think about this. If they lose to Minnesota, what's the record, Jeff?
Well, you're talking about the Lions?
Yes.
Be 5-8.
How many games back would they be technically behind the Rams for that pick?
Oh, it'd be a lot.
No, 1.5.
You're talking about the Lions pick compared to the Rams pick?
Yes. No, games back.
Oh, games
not
back.
spots.
Okay. No, yeah. It would only be
1.5 games back.
Yeah.
Because they have one less loss.
Yep.
And they have one more
Nope.
win. So you have an opportunity. Either way, you're going to get the pick. And if you lose against Minnesota, I don't think people are going to throw in the towel for the season. There's still 4 or 5 winnable games on that schedule, including this week against Minnesota where you're favored. So season's not over. Disappointing win by the Rams. Likely top 2 is out of the equation. Unless Houston and Chicago somehow start winning games, which I doubt.
Yeah.
So
I think
realistically,
3 is still a possibility.
3 is the best case scenario.
Yep.
4 or 5 is likely what you get from this pick. Fair?
Fair.
All right. I'm excited. It's going to be a great show.
And the good part is the Rams play the Broncos, like we talked about. Remember,
That is
that's
true.
the game we've been talking about. They play it in about a week, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
or
true.
2. So
2 weeks, actually.
2 weeks.
Jared Goff feels like he's playing the best football in his career at the moment. We'll get to that at 8:30. Coming up next, Amon-Ra St. Justin Jefferson. Jeff, how much of a difference do you think there is between the two? We'll talk about that in just a bit. 8:45 coming up. We're going to take your calls. 313-552-6322. Top of the hour, of course, we'll revisit the Lions-Vikings matchup. We'll take your calls again, continuing forward on the Lions-Vikings game. What's the feeling going into Sunday, guys? Excited? Nervous? Expectations? We did this last week. What do you expect from your team on Sunday? Can't wait to have that conversation with all of you. We'll break down Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, their seasons they are having so far. Goff, obviously, statistically, one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL at the moment. Kirk Cousins, the beneficiary of a team that's finding ways to win. And then, of course, 9:41, Adam's best bets, along with our game predictions for the Lions game. And Fish, speaking of best bets, I already got one placed. It's not a best bet. I'm not giving it away to the people. But
Oh, okay.
I already bet on the Brazil game.
Okay.
So
wait, why aren't you giving it
We're
to
back. I told myself I would never bet on soccer again. I think soccer's stupid. Here we are. I'm drawn back in.
Well, but you watch it, though. Why do you think it's stupid?
It's stupid. When I lose money on it, it's stupid. When I win money on it, I love soccer.
But that's for any sport.
No.
You probably tell yourself that
I
for
love
football.
the NFL either way. I love the NFL either way. Till death do us part.
But not when
Or
you're losing.
bankruptcy.
When you lose, then you put all your money on Sunday Night Football, and then you win, and then you're happy again. That's
but I'm
betting.
happy
That's
either way.
life.
I'm happy to lose. I'm happy to die. All good.
Okay.
Anyways.
Hey, are you betting on England-France tomorrow?
I am. I actually have a crazy bet for that game.
Who are you picking?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not picking anybody. I'm betting somebody to do something that has never been done in a quarterfinal game between those two countries. So, you'll see. You'll see tomorrow. I'll text you.
Oh, God.
All right. I just can't tell you guys because you should not be as irresponsible as I am. So, anyways, let's have some fun today.
And you get angry at me when I say you need betting help.
I don't need betting help.
You just told yourself right there. You just told the world you need gambling help.
That's not what I said. I said don't make irresponsible bets like I do.
Yeah, that says you need
The
help.
flip side is my irresponsible bets typically win. So I can make them. You can't.
Well, you still
shut
need
the hell
help.
up. You shut
You
the hell
still
up,
need
sir.
help.
I need to go to break. I'm getting yelled at by the producer right now. All right? You shut the hell up.
Sorry, Alex.
We're going to take a break. And when we get back, Amon-Ra St. Justin Jefferson, I want to have the conversation. Yep. Statistically, very similar. Wide receiver 1 numbers. Does Amon-Ra get enough credit for what he's doing in Detroit. I want to have this conversation, Jeff, coming up. But before we go, I got to tell you about where people like Fish need to go, and that's Planet Fitness.
How you not?
Get your ass in shape, Fish. $10 a month. That's all you got to do to sign up. Your fitness is essential. What are you waiting for? Go to the local Planet Fitness near you. Sign up today in store or visit them at planetfitness.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. Woodwardsports.com, a beautiful Friday. Jeff, wide receiver ones have become more important than ever in the NFL. And when we have the conversation about, well, what are the four most important positions right now, right? You look at the offensive line, left tackle. You look at the quarterback. You look at getting after the quarterback, right, with an elite pass rusher. And then we talk about a wide receiver and how important they are. Diggs for Allen. Derek Carr, although they're having a disaster year. Adams for Carr. Adams for Rodgers last year, if you want to use that as an example. Burrow for, Chase for Burrow. Yep. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Tyreek Hill at the time for Patrick Mahomes. Now it's Travis Kelce. Tyreek Hill for Tua.
Look what it did for Allen when they got Diggs.
So it makes a big difference now.
Yeah.
And you look at Justin Jefferson. He's entering his third season. He's got 88 receptions, just about 1,300 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And Justin Jefferson does it all. Underneath, intermediate, deep routes, he can do it all. He's got the full package. Then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's sitting there just 12 receptions behind him with 76, but almost 450 yards less.
And look at...
And why? Well,
the average.
Amon-Ra's a different type of receiver, right? He's not the vertical deep threat. That's not what he is. So 76 receptions, 830 yards, but the same amount of touchdowns with 6. So the conversation really I want to have, Jeff, is clearly Jefferson is the best receiver in the NFL right now. I think that is undebatable.
Yeah,
you want to throw in Diggs and Adams as a close 2 or 3. Tyreek Hill, yeah. I get it, but for me, it's Justin Jefferson. Tyreek Hill has to be in that conversation. Cooper Kupp, when he's healthy, can be in that conversation. But Amon-Ra, to me, still is capable. Not just capable. He is wide receiver 1. He's the standard definition. And for me, that is, you are my best wide receiver. Teams have to game plan for you, and you're still going out there and producing. And if we're honest, and you look at Justin Jefferson's splits, he's had multiple games recently where he goes off for 200 yards and then 30 yards, and then 140 yards and then 45 yards, and then 147 yards and then 14 yards. And then Amon-Ra, now that he's healthy, has been a sure thing. It's been 70 yards, 60 yards, 119, 76, 122, 114. So consistent, so reliable. So now, do I think Jefferson gets more attention by opposing defenses than Amon-Ra does? Yes, I do. The offenses are different. And again, St. Brown can excuse me, not St. Brown. Jefferson can beat you over the top.
Right.
It offers a whole different issue for you to account for as a defense. But I'm confident saying Amon-Ra is not only having a wide receiver 1 season, I think he's among the 12, 10 best wide receivers in the NFL right now.
And I think, many people would agree with you. And Ermanni and Edwards, they had Paul Allen on the show yesterday, voice of the Vikings, the PA announcer. And you know what he said, too? He said, Amon-Ra St. Brown's a top 10 wide receiver. Like, he said that, and that's someone that's a different perspective. That's someone who's been covering the Vikings. So it lets you know, not only locally, but nationally, Amon-Ra St. Brown's getting that recognition he deserves. And I love the way you put it, consistency. And that's kind of what I talked about excuse me, when we talked about if Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 10 receiver, things I look at is consistency, reliability. He's doing those things a number 1 wide receiver does, right? And that's with missing a game, basically 2 games, going out early against New England. So, again, if Amon-Ra was healthy those games, I think he'd have over 1,000. But comparing him to Justin Jefferson, like you said, that's the guy.
That's the guy. And when we look at the differences, there's a gap.
Right.
And I know he's played 1 less game, but there is a significant gap. But
Yes,
I don't think it diminishes the quality of the player. It's just, hey, if we're honest here, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, those are the 2 guys in the NFL right now that can just kill you on any given play. Those are the 2. Mm-hmm. And the other receivers, Devontae Adams recently has been a menace. Diggs obviously very good. But the point I'm making here is they all do it differently. Diggs most weeks is just killing you with a 10 and out, 10 and in, a 15 crossing. He's doing so many different things to beat you. Adams the same way, except he can beat you over the top more than Diggs can.
Right.
And then Tyreek out of the backfield in the slot on a bubble screen, 40, 50 yards downfield. He does it all. Jefferson, very similar, but maybe not so much as dynamic as Tyreek in terms of the speed, but down the field, vertical, sideline, he does it all.
He can run it all. Yeah.
All these guys have their own specialties. And for St. Brown, I think what makes him special is he's so reliable on 3rd down.
Yep.
He's the number 1 target on 3rd down on this team.
He doesn't drop many balls.
He doesn't drop many balls. He's an exceptional route runner. He's a very good run blocker. What he offers to the Lions, I think, is more than what some other wide receivers that you would consider top 10 could do. For example, a CeeDee Lamb. If you asked me for the Lions offense, who would I prefer? It would be Amon-Ra. The run blocking alone checks off that category, so that rewards me more for picking him. Terry McLaurin, I'd rather have St. Brown. So you can go through the list and say, well, why is he so successful with the Lions? I think he's a perfect fit, Jeff. That's why. And Ben Johnson has done an exceptional job, and you saw it last year, of using him so correctly in the offense.
Mm-hmm. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy where if he's not playing well, he still has a ton of value because of what he can do in the run game, how physical he is. He's a high IQ football player. And one thing I look at, and I got to give him credit too, as much as we call him a wide receiver 1, in the offense he's currently in, the ball gets spread around a lot in this Lions offense. It goes to a lot of different people. Now, Amon-Ra gets his targets, but he still has 30 less targets on the year than a guy like Justin Jefferson. So the targets, you got guys like Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Diggs. I mean, you're forcing the ball to those guys 14 times, 15 times per game. With Amon-Ra, I mean, if he gets 11, he's catching 11 balls. Like that's the that's what I give Amon-Ra so much credit for, is his consistency and how much you can just rely on him.
Remember coming out of the draft, we talked about him on the show preseason, and we said, well, who does he remind you of? And you're trying to temper expectations for a 4th-round pick,
right.
But the more you watch this film, the more you saw him in practice, the more the reports came out. It was like, hey, Jeff, hey, Adam, Hines Ward, but maybe a better route runner? And that's what he's been so far. And I get the Golden Tate comparisons because of what Tate did in Detroit and the yak and all that, but for me, that's Hines Ward, except fundamentally not only as good, maybe even a little better. And on top of it, his route running tree is, I think, more dynamic than Hines Ward's.
Yes, and his work ethic is unmatched. Like he's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's who we're going to compare him to. Like he's kind of forcing his own ways. He's molding his own future and what he can be. Because I think he's a combination of a couple guys. I think he can be better than Hines Ward. I mean, we talk about Hines Ward with the physicality, what he can do in the run game. But yards after catch, you can take some of that Golden Tate. But still, he's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, he's his own person. He's playing like it.
Of course.
He's incredible.
And I don't mean that in a slight way.
But you're right. When he coming out of the draft, that was a conversation.
That was the conversation we had. And could he be wide receiver 1? At the time, it was a doubt. Best case scenario, he could be wide receiver 2. I think if Jameson Williams is everything you think he is and everything we all believe he's capable of, I still think Amon-Ra's the wide receiver 1 on this team. That's what I think of him. That's how good I think he is. The targets add up. The receptions add up. The drop rate adds up. The touchdowns add up. The efficiency on third down is there. Mm-hmm. He is a coach's dream because he is willing to do any and everything. Ben Johnson will line him up out of the backfield, behind the tight end, in the slot. He'll line him up anywhere.
Right.
He's a willing football player, and that's one of the things you have to be as a wide receiver 1, especially in today's NFL. You have to be a willing route runner. What does that mean? That means you have to run certain routes sometimes. You are 1,000% not going to get the ball.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you have to run that route for the sake of the team, the quarterback, the play call, the game plan. So many factors go into it. And he is a willing route runner. He is a willing blocker. And again, maybe the local is maybe taking over for me a little bit, and I'm giving him more than what national would, but I'm seeing it every Sunday. I know all of you at home are seeing the same thing I'm seeing. You're no different than me. This guy is willing to do any and everything in this offense. Ben Johnson has him doing it, and he's always willing. There's never a play he takes off, and I appreciate the hell out of that.
Yeah. And again, thank goodness for Ben Johnson, because you saw the impact when he stepped in, recognizing what Amon-Ra St. Brown was and utilizing it. And last season he had a majority of his yards in the second half of the season. We knew this season was going to be a breakout year. He has that rapport with Jared. Jared trusts him. He's a safety blanket, which is always a great term for any wide receiver. If you call someone a safety blanket, it means you trust them. They're reliable. And what Amon-Ra St. Brown can do, he's still not done growing. There's still things. He's going to get even better. And on top of that, like you said, and I love how you said it too, even when he's not getting the ball, like he's not a prototypical diva wide receiver. He has no ego. Well, everybody has an ego, but not to the point where it affects his team, right? He just wants to win games. And that's the biggest thing I love about Amon-Ra, man. He's a good person. He's a good football player. And he's a high IQ football player. And he's going to be around here hopefully for a long, long time.
Absolutely. Well, look, coming up at 8:29, we're going to be having the conversation about Jared Goff. He feels like right now he's playing the best football of his career. And you know what, Jeff? Does he got a point? He might have a case.
I'll tell you what I believe.
He might have a case. We'll get to that at 8:29. I want to pivot a little bit. Obviously, last night, the disappointment, the Raiders losing, the draft pick, yada, yada, yada. But this is sort of my 2-minute interlude for when we take callers later on in the show. Isn't it nice? You don't have to worry about your team losing games to get the draft pick you want.
Right, you can have both.
Now you have the best of both worlds. You're just watching the Rams, and they will probably finish now 4-13, 5-12 at best. That's going to be a top 8 pick. You're going to have your pick, which whether you're 8-9, 9-8, 7-10, we'll see how the season goes. The games still have to be played, but no one's going to be having the conversation about the Lions should tank. The Lions should lose this game. The Lions should do this. The Lions should do that. And for what it's worth, maybe you were having that conversation when they were 1-6, and I think that's fair. But now that they've won 4 or 5, it's the season's in your hand, and you go to Ford Field on Sunday. Jeff, you beat the Vikings at home, and I know they're favored, but you beat the Vikings at home. The first time a 10-2 team is underdogs against a 5-7 team ever in NFL history. You go out and win that game. You have not only flipped the script, but you have offered this entire fan base something to hold
Yep.
and look forward to, even if they don't get a top 3, top 4, a top 5 pick. Why? Because they're going to be confident that you're going to be able to deliver the goods next year. And when I say deliver the goods, I mean contend for the division, win the division, for sure get into the wild card. That is what next year is going to be about. So it's games like Sunday, Jeff, that really matter. Not because they carry momentum into next season. That is irrelevant. But it matters for the people watching. It matters
Absolutely.
for you and me. Because what have you left me with going into the offseason where I have to deal with draft picks, free agency, yada, yada, yada? You left me with a team that finished, 7-3, maybe? 8-2, dare I say, down the stretch after a 1-6 start? Whoa. Oh, okay, so don't start slow next year. Come out the gates, and let's see what happens. So it's this Sunday puts the stamp on this season as not only, I don't want to say successful because I reserve that for winning actual games and divisions and stuff, but it would be quite the story given where you were 7 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
So Sunday's a big game. I'm excited for it. Let's take a quick pause. When we get back, Jared Goff believes he is playing the best football in his career. Jeff and I will make the case why he is or isn't. We'll have that conversation coming up. But before we go, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Cousins Maine Lobster. What are you waiting for? Visit them at cousinsmainelobster.com. Scan the QR code if you have to. Find out where they're going to be today and go treat yourself to a beautiful Friday lunch. The Maine lobster roll, the clam chowder soup. Those are my go-tos. Hell, I even had the lobster tacos the last time they were here, and it was delicious. So check them out, cousinsmainlobster.com, and give them a try.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
The official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network. Check out The Butchery. Meats, eats, and treats. Of course, sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats, artisan breads, all inspired by the legendary Chef Dave. So what are you waiting for? Give him a call, 248-682-COWS. That is 248-682-COWS. All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Thank you to everybody joining us this morning as always. Jeff, Jared Goff, we just had a conversation, and says he feels like he's playing the best football of his career. Would you agree or disagree?
No, I would agree. I mean, we talk about experience, which Jared Goff now at his age, 28 years old, going through what he went through in L.A., having great years, and then having such bad years where they basically traded him away along with 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, compensatory pick, to be specific, and they get Matthew Stafford back in return. But the way, you go to a new destination, you go to a new team, it's refreshing. I bet for Jared, especially a team that didn't believe in him. He's playing for a team that does believe in him, coaches that believe in him, playing with Ben Johnson, getting coached by Ben Johnson, who not only believes in him, but the relationship they have, the rapport they have is something special. The chemistry they have, letting Jared put his input into the offense, which I don't think it's something he had in L.A., to be honest with you. I think those things, having Amon-Ra emerge and having this offense, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, the run game they have, I think all of that together has really helped Jared Goff, to be honest with you. And it's great to see. I mean, for a guy like Jared, who was basically given up on, and for him to have the season he's having so far, and even last season, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, he missed a couple games, and that season was a disaster. It is nice to see. So, yeah, I would say that. Jared Goff looks the most confident he's looked in his career. And on top of that, he's playing some of the best football. Like we talk about, the one stat that always comes up for Jared is, he has the most turnovers since 2019, which he's up there, but now he doesn't anymore. It's Matt Ryan. So those things are starting to slow down a little bit. He had a ton of turnovers early in the season. He's been turnover-free. He just looks a lot more confident at him, and it's great to see.
Think about his last 6 games, Jeff. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's who Jared Goff has been over the last 6 games. And in that 6-game stretch, he's posted, a passer rating of 98 or higher 4 out of the 6 games. Mm-hmm. And they are 4-2 in that stretch.
And also, we talked about him playing well down the stretch with Ben Johnson last year. Now this offense, he just gets it. He knows.
Healthy, of course, that does help.
Absolutely.
But he's really dialed in right now.
Yes.
Jeff, you just go to his season, 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Mm-hmm. He is, I'll put it this way. He's got a higher completion percentage this year than his career average. He's got a higher yards per attempt average than he does for his career average. He's on pace to throw the most touchdowns since he had his 2018 year when they were 13-3. He's on pace to throw his fewest interceptions of his career, and on top of it, he's on pace to throw for 4,000 yards for the first time in, 3 seasons. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Mm-hmm. And what was the number before the season? And boy, I swear, if this number hits exactly on the dot, I am not going to let any of you sleep at night.
Did we talk about 24 to 27?
We talked about Jared Goff's stats before the year, and the number was 4,100 yards.
Yep.
26 to 27 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. 9 to 12 interceptions. That is exactly what he's on pace for. That is exactly what he's on pace for. And I am here for it. This is the Jared Goff we expected, and this is why when we talked about it before the season, why'd you have them winning 8 games, Jeff? Why did we sit up here and say 7, 8, 9 wins? Why? What is it, talking out of our ass?
Because of that offense.
Because of the offense? Jared Goff, year 2 under Ben Johnson, it would be a top 10 offense. We assumed the Lions would have a top O-line, a good run game. Amon-Ra St. Brown continued to emerge, and that's how it played out. The problem is they got off to such a bad start with their confidence, the turnovers. That was still an offense that was moving the ball down the field, and at times you saw the defense really stifle teams. Washington, Minnesota, they had their moments. Philly early. And then what? Goff would throw an interception. There would be an unnecessary fumble. Defense would give up a big play on 3rd and long. There was always something for the first 7 games of the year that would go wrong when it could go wrong. Whether it was Dan Campbell going for it on 4th and 9 or attempting a field goal he should have gone for on 4th and 1. There are so many things, and I don't want to focus on just the bad, because since then, they've been the team we thought they would be all season. So when you tell me before the season, Adam, I think they win 8 games, wouldn't shock me if they win 9. Did I sit up here and call you crazy? No, I said, Jeff, you're making a very good point right now. Because that offense is going to be a problem. And that defense, you would imagine, like they have been the last 5 games, was going to improve. Not be lights out, not be top 10, not top 15, but they would have improved from 32 to 24, 23 maybe. And that's what you're seeing now. And what do you know? They're suddenly winning 4 out of 5. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Because now they're playing like the team you thought they would be before the season started. And they deserve a ton of credit for that.
Yeah, that was the one thing we also discussed too, is how much money's tied up into this offense. I mean, it's one of the most expensive offenses in the NFL currently, and with Ben Johnson, the success they've had, and them knowing Goff's strengths and weaknesses, what he can do and what he can't do, knowing his limitations, they've really excelled at that. I mean, getting Goff in play action, being able to run the football with Jamal Williams really for a majority of the year, not having DeAndre Swift at times, not at least 100% healthy, and then you have Justin Jackson. They've really built this offense around Goff and around the talent they have, and it couldn't have gone any better. I mean, Goff is a guy where you not only do you have to have belief in him, you got to give him confidence, like most quarterbacks. I mean, that's most quarterbacks. But on top of that, you're able to protect him. You're able to run the ball effectively. You have guys that can catch the football and be reliable, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, T.J. Hockenson early in the year, even though they weren't really utilizing him. But still, Josh Reynolds, bringing in Josh Reynolds. They really did cater to Goff, and it's worked.
To.
Absolutely. Like every franchise should to their quarterback.
Are you surprised by Jared Goff's performances over the last 6 weeks? Honest to God question.
No, I'm not shocked. I'm really not. Because he's in a position to succeed, at least statistically.
He's got so many pieces to succeed.
Right.
And look, you guys know how I feel about Dan Campbell, especially those first 7 games of the year. I had it. I was done. But Jared Goff didn't help him either, and vice versa. They were both, I don't want to use this metaphor incorrectly, but they were both shooting each other in the foot, basically. If it wasn't him, it was the other. If it wasn't the other, it was him. Somebody was always making the mistake, whether it was Goff with the interceptions or Campbell with the 3rd down play calling, 4th down play calling, not punting, not taking points. It was always something. Using timeouts when he shouldn't use them. Onside kicks. There was always something those first 7 games. And none of you watching at home, none of you listening right now, none of you cannot acknowledge that over the last 5 games, Lions have played some of the best football in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Who's played better? Philly? Yes. Kansas City? Sure. You could maybe name me 3 to 5 teams at most. Dallas?
And those are contenders. I mean, you're talking about contenders.
Buffalo? You can name me 4, 5, at most 6 teams. But I wouldn't even go as far as 6. That are playing at the level in terms of complete football over the last 5 weeks. That's how good they've been. And I think that deserves credit. I think even if I disliked 1-6 so much that I wanted to rip my eyes out, even if I am disgusted by it, that should not get in the way of me not recognizing, Jeff, that in the last 5 games, they've been exceptional.
Yeah.
And there's a reason they're favorites on Sunday. There's a reason. It's not because Vegas knows something that you don't know, Jeff, or what's Vegas telling us now. It's one of the better teams in football over the last 5 games. And Minnesota have been squeaking by, not playing their best football over the last 5 games. Yeah, I think it makes sense why the Lions are favorites, Jeff.
And they're looking at this passing attack. I mean, look at Minnesota Vikings, how many passing yards they give up per game. They give up more passing yards per game than the Lions. They give up 300 on average. I mean, that's really what they've been doing. So for the Lions, with their passing attack and what they can do, and you saw Jared Goff against the Jaguars be successful. They put the ball completely in Goff's hands, and that was their way they were going to attack the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, we're going to attack them through the air. That was the game plan. Dan talked about that in his press conference, and it was successful. I mean, Goff played his best game of the season. Didn't turn the ball over, was quick, decisive, accurate with the football, knew immediately where to place it. Amon-Ra St. Brown made a ton of beautiful plays along with that, but still, I mean, the fact that you can do that, I mean, it does, and that's kind of where the term game manager kind of gets mixed up, because yes, you say that and you use that word, but for Goff to do that, I mean, that's not game manager things. I mean, you're putting the game in Goff's hands, and he played well, so I got to give him credit there. I mean, he picked apart a Jags defense that's, not top tier, but middle of the pack in the NFL, and still he lit them up. So that's something to talk about. And this Vikings defense, as much passing yards as they allow, getting absolutely destroyed by the Cowboys, by the way, there's an opportunity for this passing attack. And Jared Goff, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in play action. If they can get the run game, established, and the Minnesota Vikings are prone to giving up yards on the ground as well, Jared Goff's going to find success. He really is this game, especially at home. The difference, too, between Jared on the road, it's not like he plays terrible on the road, but his stats at home, he's played excellent at home all year. And that should give Lions fans even more confidence heading into this week.
I agree 100%. And I think that confidence has been reciprocated both ways. And I think it's been, again, you have to earn this type of confidence and this level of trust. And most Lions fans, and we'll do a poll later, because I'm very curious what all of you think at home. But like, what is your mindset going into Sunday? How are you feeling about this team? So coming up, we're going to start taking callers. We'll start from now. What are you feeling going into the game? And I'm not saying, I'm feeling great. Oh man, I'm excited to watch the game. No. I want you to tell me why you are either very high, very low, unsure, overconfident, not confident enough. Walk Jeff and I through your feelings ahead of Sunday, what you think is going to happen, and how the rest of the season is going to play out. The next 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes are going to be about all of you. We're going to keep taking calls for at least the next 30, 45 minutes. So we're going to have fun with this. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, it's okay to not be okay. Head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, because it is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12. The unlimited open play, or you could pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. Check it all out with your friends. FullingWarehouse.com.
All right, the phone lines are open. It's pinned to the top of the WoodwardSports.com chat. 313-552-6322. That's 313-552-6322. Give us a call. Let's have the conversation. How are you feeling about your Detroit Lions heading in to the game against Minnesota? The Lions are 2.5-point favorites. Jeff and I want to know, what is it? Is it excitement? Is it confidence? Tell us how you feel and why.
Give us a score prediction.
Is it because of the defense, giving up 19.8 points over the last 5 games? Is it because of Amon-Ra St. Brown's second in the NFL in receiving over the last 4 games? Is it because of Jared Goff, who's only thrown 1 interception in his last 6? You give me the reason. This is about you. So let's start with Nolan. Nolan, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy? Fish? Can you send Nolan through, please? God bless. Nolan, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Morning. How you doing, sir?
Always good. What do you got for us?
Man, you asked the question. It kind of struck me. You're like, what are you feeling? What are you guys feeling coming into this week? And, I usually fly into about 3 games a year because I'm from Michigan. I live in Nashville. I'm a Marine.
Awesome.
I went to the... Yeah, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. And I flew in last week for the Jaguars game. It was probably, I feel like this week, so I don't want to ramble, I want to keep it short and sweet. I feel like this week is going to be a culture shock. It's going to be a change, a turning point for this organization. And I'm bummed that I can't be there for that game. I'm bummed that I can't see them, put Minnesota in the dirt, put their dicks in the dirt, change something, change the culture, change the freaking culture for once.
I'm telling you, Nolan, you are spot on. I think this weekend is going to be a big swing in the pendulum for the Lions if they can pull off the Minnesota win.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. And I know you guys probably want someone to call and talk about stats. But
you're fine. No, I just want to hear you. I want to hear you right now. I don't worry about anybody else.
I just, like every other Lions fan, I just want to see them win out, and I want to see them go to the playoffs. I know I'm sitting here acting childish thinking that, but this is what I want, and I really think they're going to do it this week. But I don't want to take any more of your guys' time. I just want to say you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing over there, and you guys need more hype. Because this is something that keeps me going every day, especially being away from Michigan and everything. Just listening to you guys is one thing that just pushes me to do my best every day in a weird way.
Man, Nolan, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. Of course, thank you for your service, man. You have a great rest of your weekend, and rooting for you on Sunday. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you for your service as well, man. Appreciate it. You're the man.
See you later, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Awesome caller, man. That was awesome.
No one. By the way, we don't expect stats. You come tell us your feelings.
You guys. Again, I asked for feelings.
Yeah,
all right?
That's what we want.
I want to know your excitement level going into Sunday. I want to know what you expect from your football team. Not asking you to do my job. Let's go to Ron. Ron, you're out. Excuse me, Ron. You're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Always good.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. First of all, first time, long time. Love what you guys are doing over there.
Thank you.
As far as this Sunday's game, man, I got to tell you, I'm scared. I'm super scared. I've been watching this team since my first season watching the Lions was the 91 playoff run, right? Went to the NFC Championship, and I'm thinking this is going to be how it is forever, man.
Yep.
The Lions are going to be amazing. And so it's been a rough run for like it has for all of us. But games like this are usually traditionally where the Lions let me down, right? It's a big spot. And this is a turning point in our season. We could win or lose with this game. Depends on whether or not we're going to make a possible push for the playoffs.
Yeah, look, I think you just have to accept that you're either going to be very happy after Sunday or a bit hurt, and it's okay. Either way, it's okay because there's a lot to look forward to. As much as I am frustrated with the way they've started, there is no denying the way they've been playing, Ron. So it doesn't fix everything, a win on Sunday. It doesn't remove any same old Lions talk, but what it does is it gives you more confidence in your coach and what they're building over there in Allen Park. So, yeah, I get you're scared. I get I don't want to be hurt again. I've already been hurt. It's kind of like, having a girlfriend or a boyfriend and they cheat on you, whatever, and you're afraid to give yourself up again. The Lions have always found a way to fuck their fans over, but I don't think Sunday's the case. I really don't. And even if they do lose, Ron, I don't expect a blowout. I don't expect them to blow a 14-point fourth quarter lead or, try an onside kick in the first quarter or refuse to punt or not take points when they need it and then lose by one. So I think the coach has changed his way, but I wouldn't be too scared if I were you.
I appreciate it, man. Hearing you say it makes
I know,
me feel
right?
a little bit better. So
appreciate you, Ron. You have a great rest of your weekend, buddy.
You too, boys. Thanks.
Yep. All right, let's go to Harry out in... What is this? Houghton Lake? Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Jesus. What's up, Harry? How you doing, buddy? I've never heard of where the hell you live, so...
Houghton Lake, that's where a lot of people come up and have it. It's a nice resort town. Higgins Lake is a gorgeous lake. Check it out.
I've never been, but I will. What are you feeling going into Sunday, buddy?
Well, I love the way that this team has direction. Even when Stafford and the Lions made the playoffs, they didn't look like they knew what they were doing from one down to the next. These guys, they're such a young nucleus, and they look like they know what they're doing. Campbell made bad decisions early on in the season, and I think some of them, to be fair, was when we had inconsistent kicking. He didn't know if he should go down fourth down or not, but this team's got a lot of stuff together. People are healthy, and I love our chances on Sunday against the Vikings. They win that game, it's pedal to the metal, and, we may make the playoffs, we may not, but this team is going into next year, has so much steam in the rest of the division. I think we're going to win the division for the next 5-6 years.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, Harry. Now you're on the same page with me, my man. Regardless of Sunday, regardless of the outcome, I do think this is a team that finishes at worst 7-10. I think they're going to get to 8 wins this year. They'll be 8-9. And the conversation, Harry, myself, you, Jeff, everybody will be having is, you're not that far away from Minnesota, and I think you'll prove it this Sunday. Hell, you proved it in Minnesota earlier in the year. Now next year is the platform where, what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? You're not too worried about the Bears. If not next year, to win the NFC North for the first time, when would it be? I'm with you, buddy. I like it. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care.
Hey, bud.
All right, so far we've got a lot of optimism, and I am here for it. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop people from not being excited about a team. I have had this conversation with you before. They've been playing some of the best football in the NFL.
And this isn't the game against the Bills where you're optimistic, but you understand the fact that the Bills are a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
This is not a 10-2 football team.
Yes, but at the same time, you've also played them already, and you saw the result of that. And I think that's why the confidence is at an all-time high, and as it should be. And the Vikings aren't some juggernaut.
It should be, but the Lions need to avoid a big letdown. That's all.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't lose, but you don't go out there and get pushed around and you lose the game, and people are like, who the hell is this? Like, I've had confidence in you for 5 weeks.
Especially at home.
You can't
get your teeth kicked in, man.
So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Let's go to Antoine out in Atlanta. You're on the morning show, buddy. What do you got for us?
In the ATL.
Fish,
how you doing up in Detroit, man? What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Man, listen. I know y'all just talked about this, but, I'm scared of shit right now. because, but my thing is, even though I'm scared, it still feels different. This shit feels really, really different. The culture, the how it's being done. We have a smart-ass GM. Seriously, Brad Holmes is killing it. We've never, ever had that. We've never had the top 3 components all be in the same situation. The coach, the owner, and the GM all on the same page. We've never had that. Mm-hmm. So it feels different, but I'm still scared as shit.
And I don't blame you. And I'll tell you what, it's like online dating, right? You go on your first date, you meet a girl, she's everything you want her to be. You show up at, I don't know, where do you go for a Tinder date? I don't know, Red Lobster. You show up to Red Lobster, there's a 45-year-old, 300-pound dude sitting there. You're like, oh shit, this is not what I planned for, right? So then the next time you find somebody and you match and you're going out with them and you're like, all right, well, the last time I did this, I got burned. I hope they don't burn me. Please don't be a fat person.
You don't want to get catfished.
I don't want to get catfished. The Lions are basically online dating right now. And I think you got to put yourself out there, man. You have to. You have to be willing to accept a win or a loss on Sunday.
And here's my thing. If we do lose, I just don't want to lose the way we have been losing in the past, that dumb
yes.
shit.
Right. Thank you.
If we don't lose,
it's okay to lose.
Yeah.
It's a 17-game season. Yes, man. Yes, it's okay to lose, but don't blow a fourth quarter lead. Don't mismanage the clock. Don't go for on 4th and 9 at your own 33-yard line. Don't do little things that do matter in close games that you will lose. I'm with you, man. They go out there and, you know what, they just lose to a better team and the Vikings make one more play and there's no egregious coaching decisions or player mistakes. You're sitting there like, unfortunate. We didn't make the play or two that we needed, but it's not because we messed up on a decision. It was just because how the game played out. It's how the NFL is. So appreciate the call, man. Well done. Thank you so much.
That's what's up. Y'all be good, dude. But look, I'm gonna call it, dude. Jameis Wilson gonna score a 75-yard touchdown.
Oh, let's go. I can get with that. I can get with that.
It's gotta happen.
I'm here
Y'all
for
take
it.
care, buddy.
Yep, appreciate you.
Yep. I'm here for it.
You know
man.
what? I completely respect the transparency with him. Like, I feel like that. I'm just so scared.
Like being scared of Sunday?
Yeah, like confidence is great, but it's okay also to be like, you know what? I don't know if this is true. We're facing the NFC North division leader. Confidence is great, but it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, look,
you don't want to be catfished.
Again,
that's what it is.
I get it. If you've ever online dated, right, and you show up to, you show up to the bar, you show up to Red Lobster. I don't know, maybe you go to McDonald's. I don't know what you guys do nowadays. You show up and there's a dude or a chick that is not what I'm just saying.
You keep mentioning seeing you see a girl and you see a dude when you meet them. Has this happened to you personally?
You never know.
Has this happened to you in the past?
You never know. Yeah, there's a girl there. You think she's a girl. You get home and you find out she's not. You never know. Look, he has trust issues. I'm giving you examples of why people would have trust issues. Fair or not fair?
No, that's fair.
I'm not saying anything.
I don't know.
I'm just giving you
have
examples.
You went on some dates where you found out?
I don't know. I can't confirm or deny.
Okay, all right. Just checking.
Oh, man. Let's go to Eric out in Detroit. Eric, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us this morning, buddy?
What up, though, guys?
What up,
What's up?
Man, how y'all doing this morning?
Always good. Always good.
We're a little nervous, a little excited, just like most people.
Yeah. I know everybody probably say I'm the Lions hater that usually calls in, but I'm not. Actually, they're where I want them to be, and I'm looking. I honestly am looking past this Lions game and past this Viking games into next year because I'm just loving what I'm seeing from all the young guys. Yeah. But I think with this Minnesota game, I just got a feeling, y'all. And y'all know I don't go off feelings with the Lions, but I got a feeling this week we're going to give it to the Vikings because that first game we had it, but we started getting injured. Swift got injured that game. St. Brown got injured that game. We fully healthy. Except on some people. I think we can beat them. If, like y'all say, if Jared Goff don't turn it over and Dan Campbell don't make no crazy decisions, we can get them. We kept Justin Jefferson in check and Dalvin Cook in check in the first game.
You know, Eric,
and if you look at the stats, Minnesota is not no world beaters. They've been winning because they've been getting turnovers.
Right.
The ball will get tipped and they player just there and it falls in his hands. It's going to be a whole different ball game in Ford Field.
No, and you're absolutely correct, because early in the season, when you went to Minnesota, too, that was during the stretch Goff was turning the ball over, like every game. Yep. And he has not been doing that lately. So with this defense for the Minnesota Vikings, man, they've been leaky. I mean, they gave up 300 yards passing per game. I think this is an opportunity, I'm with you, Eric, for this Lions offense to put up another 30-burger.
And y'all know, I'm not a Goff supporter, but honestly, it's going to shock you, Jeff and Adam.
All right.
I'm pleased with what I've been seeing out of him.
And you should be. And you should be. That you are being fair.
Hey, I'm fair. I'm optimistic. I'm fair. I call it as I see it, like you, Adam. He's been playing his tail off, and I think he's gonna outplay Kirk Cousins this.
Let's not forget, man.
Weekend.
Let's not forget,
Corey Joseph getting his 4th pick.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget. This is the same Lions team. You mentioned all the injuries. St. Brown, Swift, Tracy Walker went down that game. Let's not forget this is the same team that had a 10-point lead going into that fourth quarter. A team that was 1 yard away from winning that game, regardless of all the circumstances. So I like where you're going today, Eric.
And one more point, y'all. One more point. I'm at the mindset this week I will start James Houston on the other edge. To start the game.
I don't know.
Just to see how he can be as a starter at the beginning of the game. To see, do we really have something?
Is
with
he a
this guy?
3-down lineman though? I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't know. Let's try to find out. Adam, does it hurt? What do we have to lose?
It could bite you in the ass if he's not good at run support. So. Especially early on. I think the way they're using him right now in third down situations, obvious passing situations, I like it more. I agree with you, though. I want to see it eventually. I just don't know if it's this week.
Yeah. And AG talked about...
Is Pascal playing?
Say it again?
Yes, he is. Pascal?
Oh, Josh Pascal.
Yep. And I think Romeo Okwara is getting he's ready to play. So we'll see if he plays. He's going to be 100% available. So that's good.
Well, Dan Campbell did say all hands on deck this week.
Ooh, let's go.
Appreciate the call, Eric. Great job as always, man.
Y'all
Appreciate
have
you, buddy.
a great day, y'all. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you, Eric.
Man. You too. Appreciate you.
Good luck.
By the way, shout out to Eric, man. I love what he calls. But I want to bring up the point he made about James Houston, because I watched AG's press conference and they asked him that same question, like, are you going to unleash James Houston? And he's like, well, like you said, he made the same point you made, and on top of that, he said you don't want to shatter his confidence yet. He's riding at an all-time high,
and he gets burned or he breaks containment, and Dalvin Cook goes for 30, 40 yards. One, you as fans are going to be pissed, and two, he's going to be like,
oh,
I'm not looking forward to film on the weekday.
Yeah,
it's not going to be fun.
I love how they're utilizing him now. I'm with you.
I think it's the correct way. I'm with you. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, top of the hour, we'll continue to take calls, talk about the Lions-Vikings game. But before we do, Jeff, I got to tell everybody about our good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Like this fellow over here walking to get his haircut, you can get your beard or hair taken care of with one of their awesome stylists. 10 to 8, 7 days a week, no appointment necessary. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Buy, sell, or invest, Michael Phillips is your go-to guy. He's been in the game for over 23 years, making him one of the most recognizable, and not only recognizable, reliable, and educated realtors out there. Give him a call. What are you waiting for? 313-403-0011. He'll help you navigate through a hectic and chaotic market. That's 313-403-0011. And it is the top of the hour here at the Woodward Sports Network. Morning show live, woodwardsports.com, and you guys know what I'm doing this weekend. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Winter bumper cars,
Ooh.
Arctic slides,
Ooh.
putt putt. I'm going to take my little shit of a nephew, who I don't even like, but I have to be like a responsible uncle. So I'm going to take him down and, show him around, get some pictures, and send him to his mom, and his mom will be like, oh my God, my son is so cute. So, I gotta do all that. Can't wait. Should be fun. Santa's there. I'll maybe let him
I don't want to see you with Santa.
Oh, I'm gonna be just fine.
You call him.
I'll say some things, but the kid's not gonna understand anyways.
Hey, are you doing it before or after the Lions game? Because if it's after...
It's gonna be on Friday. I'm gonna go
okay.
either Friday night or Saturday morning. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, well, that's today. Yeah. Oh, I want to make sure you know.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure, because if it's after the Lions game and they lose, you might be a little more aggressive with your Want to make
Well,
sure
Santa's
you...
only available, Thursday to Saturday, I believe.
Then there you go.
Whatever. Shut the hell up, Fish.
Well, looking out for you.
But shut the hell up.
Boing.
All right, let's continue the calls. We got a jam-packed house at the moment. Everybody's in queue. Thank you to everybody who's being patient. Let's go with cities I've never heard of. Mike from West Branch, Michigan. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Adam, how's it going? Actually, this is the hometown of former Lion Anthony Zettel.
No way. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so... But I'm a little bit older than you guys are, so I'm still... This is the most excited I've been about the Lions in a long time, but I'm still trying to buy in a little bit. I'll be 50 here very shortly.
Congratulations.
And, you know, like I said, it's hard for me to believe, and actually I'm able to sit down. I married the right woman. She loves to sit down and watch the Lions with me, and she actually knows the game, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
you.
This is going to be a big test for Dan Campbell, because the last time we played Minnesota, he screwed that game up for us. So, big test for him. You know, he screwed it up again on Thanksgiving, in my opinion. Just don't screw it up this time. I can deal with losing if we lose because we were beaten. I can't lose if we deal with it if we lose because you were being an idiot and trying to be the smartest guy on the bench.
And that's always been the problem, right? Whether it was Patricia just being an outright idiot and asshole, Caldwell being too indecisive, quiet, messing up game management, clock management. You can go down the list of all the coaches you've watched over the years. I'm with you, Mike.
All the way back to Wayne Fonts when he brought his own brothers on the staff that didn't know anything.
Right.
We had Marilyn, with the in-laws. It's been a shit show for the longest time.
It's unbelievable, yes. So, without a doubt, this GM, oh my gosh.
Exceptional.
I could just hug the man.
Yep.
I could just hug him because for once we always looked forward to the draft because we always had top pick and that was it. After that, we had no chance of getting anyone.
Yep.
I actually look forward to the late rounds of the draft now almost more than I look forward to the beginning of the draft. Because
what a beautiful thing.
I want to know what I got coming. Yes, it's a lot of fun now.
It is.
We haven't. I can't remember it being this way in my lifetime.
I'm only 28, Mike. So for me, it's never been this way. I'll say this: you should be optimistic for Sunday. And I love the point you made about how you lose. How you lose does matter in the NFL. If you lose to a team that made an extra play or two more than you did, a team that is just more skilled than you are, like Buffalo, even though I agree with you, I think Campbell botched it, that is okay if you lose because, one, it's the NFL, you're going to lose games, and two, we're all not stupid here. You're not going undefeated. It's okay to lose games, especially against good teams. And Minnesota, in my opinion, a good team, but Lions are one of the more dangerous teams over the last 5 weeks in the NFL, man. And I'm riding that wave into Sunday, Mike. I am. I think it's some of the best football I've witnessed in the last 5 weeks in my lifetime.
Well, you gentlemen, I love your show. Keep doing it, and you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Appreciate that,
Great
Mike.
call,
Thank
Mike.
you so
Appreciate
much.
it,
Enjoy
you
your
too.
weekend as well, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Great call.
No,
Great
and
call.
I love the point, too. This is a big game for Dan because it's probably one of the most meaningful games, right? Like, early in the season, you're 1-6. You win 4 out of the 5 games, and now you're playing not only your division leader, but this is your chance. If you win against Minnesota...
Would you count Buffalo or
and
no?
You win yes, that was a meaningful game, but
let me finish, because I think you're going to say no to Buffalo after I say this. I don't think it was Buffalo. I think the last time you played a meaningful game was Week 3. You're 1-1 on the road, 10-point lead against who?
That was Minnesota.
Minnesota was the last time you played a meaningful game. And now you get them back and you win this game?
Yeah.
There is no choice. You have no choice but to talk about playoffs, but to talk about the wild card, how you can sneak your way in, because it is a reality if you beat the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday.
Because look, if you beat the Vikings, after the Vikings, talk about winnable.
Jets, Panthers.
Yeah.
I want to say Bears, Packers, in that order. Yep.
Correct.
So, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great stretch, man. Let's go to Wesley out in Detroit. Wesley, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us this morning, buddy?
What up, though, my boy?
What's up?
What up?
Slow motion, headed to work, but I just wanted to give you guys this take. This is a 3-point game. The first point is how great the offense operates. The second point is, let's just be honest, all this Jared Goff slander we had earlier in the year and last year, he's playing like a top 10 quarterback.
Absolutely.
And this is a coaching game. This is where you separate the boy from the men. If Dan Campbell wants to make a statement and put his foot on the lead neck, he has to win this game, and not just win it. They got to double what they did last week against the Jaguars. You have to make a statement. We've been written off. We've been talked about. Everybody made fun of him. Oh, they biting kneecaps. Well, for the past few weeks, he's been taking more than kneecaps. I see a few ankles over there too. So this is a coaching game, a player's game, and you got to somehow like put it all together, because at some point the NFL has to know, like, these not the same old Lions. These are the Lions that you really don't want to play in a few years coming. And Jared Goff deserves so much more credit, because if you look at our quarterback history before we got him, he had more Super Bowl experience than a lot of them, including Matthew Stafford. So I think it's a three-part game, but it's a Dan Campbell game too. He got to separate himself from a lot of these guys.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
100%.
I'm with you, Wesley. Great call, buddy. Thank you so much. You have a good weekend, man.
Yeah, no, Wesley's 100% correct. I mean, especially if a game, it's a close
Callers
game.
are on point today, by the way. A lot of them recognizing, hey, Dan, don't fuck this up. Like, we're watching.
Yeah.
Like, look, we've been happy the last 5 weeks. Don't get us wrong, as a fan base. But we're watching you. You do not fuck that game up this weekend, because there's a good chance you win it. Don't you dare be the reason.
Right.
The reason better be because Justin Jefferson just made a over-the-top play over two defenders and it cost you the game, or a late field goal, or an unfortunate fumble by Jamal Wood. It better not be because you didn't use your timeouts, or because you gave them an extra possession going into half or out of half, or because you tried something slick and it backfired. None of that. I like where the people are at this morning. Let's go to Dylan. Dylan, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hello, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm good. I just had a take on, with the draft picks that we have this year, what do you think about getting Lamar Jackson next year?
I'm going to be honest with you, Dylan, and this isn't so much against you. It is, I am completely against the idea of getting Lamar Jackson because what he will cost. I don't think one first-round pick is enough to get him. I think it would require at least 3. And on top of it, I'm going to have to pay him 45 to 50, maybe 55 million plus annually, and that's going to be guaranteed. And Lamar's been banged up now recently. He did it last year towards the end. He's been I like Lamar. I think he's a fantastic athlete, a good quarterback, but I would rather let Brad Holmes take a shot over the next 3 years trying to draft a quarterback than going out and trading for one.
Especially when the quarterback you have now, Dylan, is cheaper and he's playing
at a very high level.
He's playing at a high level. So I would take that $25 million discount and go, improve your defense.
Great call, Dylan. Appreciate the question this morning.
Yeah, appreciate you, Dylan.
All right, no problem.
Lamar Jackson. I'm more calm about it, by the way. If Dylan called 2 days ago, I probably would have snapped on him. But I've calmed myself down on the Lamar Jackson conversation. I'm not going to lose my shit over it.
Yeah.
We'll go to one more caller, then we got to take a quick break. Let's go to Joe out in Grand Rapids. Joe, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us this morning?
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
What's going on?
Hey, man, appreciate the show. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Whole sports level. Love it when you guys push. You got to do it more often. No, I had a bunch of reasons why I'm excited. I'm going down there with the family, so that's going to be sweet. But,
nice.
Yeah, I had to go with the defense, man. I went to the Seattle game. I'm sure you guys remember how many punts we forced that game.
Yeah.
Fat donut. Yeah.
Bad donut. But, there's the defense, swift, slick, and explosive again. Tons of reasons. But like you said, Campbell. I'm excited for Campbell, actually.
Really?
Yeah, just because, I've been through it all with the Lions. So if we get to overtime, are we going to decline the coin toss and kick it like Warning would?
No, I would hope not. But you know what? I'm glad you brought up Campbell that way. You are just like everybody else, and I think that's very important this morning is you guys are watching your head coach. You're now paying attention to him. Obviously, the first 7 games of the year weren't pretty. and there was a lot of heat and fire and disagreement within the fan base. But now that the team is on track a little bit, and you are favorites going into Minnesota, well, now the conversation is, hey, Dan, not only can you win this kind of game, can you not lose it for us? Like, stay out of the way. Ben Johnson's doing a hell of a job with the offense. Aaron Glenn, hell of a job with the defense over the last 5 weeks. You've done a hell of a job managing the game, taking the points, getting the team up and ready, game planning along with both of your coordinators. Can you not go for on 4th and 9? I like that attitude going into Sunday, Joe.
For sure. And then one last thought I had was I seen Jalen Rager guarantee the victory.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out who he was, actually.
Yeah, he's played 40 games in the NFL. Amon-Ra St. this season in 11 has more career receiving yards and touchdowns than Rager, so he can look at butt sack.
Yeah, I know who he is. I was just being sarcastic, but yeah, for sure.
Appreciate the call, Joe. You have a great weekend, buddy.
Thanks,
Enjoy the game.
Yep.
Yeah, you too.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we will continue the calls. A lot of you are lined up and waiting patiently, so we appreciate it. We're going to try to get to all of you. And then at 9:30, we'll get to Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. We'll have that conversation.
Yes.
We'll get to bets at 9:40 along with game predictions, and then mailbag at 9:50. So before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Cintron has combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. You can try Cintron's great-tasting cranberry, classic, or sugar-free, all in one pack. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron cranberry.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
All right, let me tell you guys about Ryan Ermanni and his custom health journey and how he's down just over 20 pounds since starting. So proud of him. So proud of the work Dr. Jason and his team are doing over there at Custom Health Centers. So what are you waiting for? Start your health journey today, 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com. Let's go to James out in Central Florida. James, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us today?
What's up, James?
We'll have to look at which way. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Hey, guys, you on?
Yep.
Hey, sorry. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm hesitantly optimistic this weekend for the Lions.
Okay.
I think the Lions can beat Minnesota. I think we all think that can happen, especially what they did with Buffalo. But Minnesota's that X-Factor team. They have our number sometimes.
Yep.
And I think with Cook running, that's going to be a challenge for us. But, win or lose, if we got beat really bad, I'm going to be worried about the snowball effect, especially for the next couple games on the road against weaker teams.
Right.
That's really my biggest fear. What are we going to do after this game?
It is a tricky game. Look, again, I'm optimistic. I am about this Sunday. I do think the Lions pose a lot of problems for Minnesota that I'm not sure Minnesota has solutions for. Having said that, I'm really glad you brought this up. So let's foreshadow a little bit. They lose to Minnesota. Do they compound that by going on the road to New York and losing to Robert Saleh and the Jets, and then following that up with a disappointment against Carolina, and then they're sitting there at 5-10, and you're like, whoa, where'd the optimism go? Were we just a game and a half out of the playoffs? What happened? That is very interesting. I don't think they do that, even if they lose to Minnesota, but that is, of course, like anything in the NFL, a possibility.
Right, it is. So that's my main issue. But the Lions should win the game. They can do it. They're showing that they're one of the better teams in the league right now at this point. And if they do win the game, I think that could be a positive snowball effect for the rest of our road games. And from there.
No question, James. It's all about momentum, right? They're riding this wave of a momentum. They won 4 out of the last 5. They went toe-to-toe with the Buffalo Bills. And then if you go out and get obliterated at home against the Vikings, yes, that completely drills your momentum. So exactly. I'm with you, James. They got to go out and at least compete. It's got to be a close game. I think they win too, but like you said, you can't go out and get embarrassed at home. Knowing how packed it'll be this weekend, it's going to be unbelievable. A playoff atmosphere.
Yes, sir. Yep, don't make any stupid mistakes. Coach got to coach within the scenarios of the game.
Right.
And Adam, have a good time this weekend with your nephew, man. It doesn't come around that often. It'll be good practice for you.
Yeah.
I will. I appreciate it, buddy. You have a great weekend, too. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, James.
Take care. Go Blue, go Gators.
Yep. Man. Interesting.
No,
that's the theme of the calls today. Optimism, but, they got a very close eye on Dan Campbell right now.
A little cautious a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah. No, I love it too.
That means a lot to me. It really does. I think as a fan base, you have to be... I know it's difficult to juggle support and then also questioning and trying to figure out what the problems are. If Dan goes out there and coaches a clean game, I think it is very likely the conversation you have on Monday is that you just not only won this game, the conversation is also, hey, he's not just growing and learning. He might have cleared that window of when he was being a complete buffoon, costing you game after game after game. And where that leads you, who knows? But that very well could be the conversation. Let's go to Cole out in Gladstone, another city I've never heard of. I need to get out more.
I know, dude.
I need to get out more. What the hell am I doing with my life? I'm sitting here reading call screens. I have no idea where these people live. You could have told me that he lives in the UK.
No.
Cole, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, guys?
Good. What do you want to talk about, man?
Actually, well, first off, Gladstone's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so I don't really expect you guys to know that.
There you go. I've only been there once in my life, but I was way too young.
Hey, Cole, Adam does not know most places in Michigan besides Detroit or Dearborn, so you're good.
Anyways, my thoughts on the game this weekend. I really do think it's going to be a shootout. The only thing that does scare me, and I do watch a lot of Vikings games because my buddy is a Vikings fan, and the thing I've noticed is in the fourth quarter, they are very good in the red zone, their defense, Minnesota. And if we look at last game, we didn't even score in the fourth quarter. So, and Minnesota ranks 6th in the NFL in allowing points in the fourth quarter. So I really do think it's going to come down to is if we can finish this game and put the dagger in Minnesota in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm with it very much. Appreciate you calling in today, Cole.
Yeah.
You have a great weekend, buddy.
Yep, you too. Thank you.
Yep. Upper Peninsula, I like that.
And to Cole's point, too, the Lions, that was the biggest criticism. We talked about this multiple times with the Lions and what they've done.
Can we get the camera on Fish?
In the first half compared to the second half. And what's going on with Fish?
Look what he's holding.
He's just practicing. He's got the Maz mic.
What I'm doing.
Why are you talking into a mic that doesn't even work?
Well, it works. I just don't have it on.
He's practicing.
God.
I'm getting ready for the FIFA World Cup at about 20 or 30, 34 minutes, 36 minutes.
Fish, who should I bet on, Brazil or Croatia?
I mean, you kind of already bet.
I did, but I want to make another one.
Gosh.
Why?
What should I bet on? Goals, goal scorer, what should I do?
What's the over-under? Is it higher than 2 or 3?
If 3.5 is the play to get plus money. 2.5 is favored.
Okay. I mean, I kind of like Croatia. I don't know if they'll win, but if
What
it goes,
about Neymar anytime goal scorer?
Yeah, I guess I take Rafinha over Neymar.
You're not helping me.
What?
We're moving on. Let's go to Derek out in Pittsburgh. He's been waiting patiently. Derek, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, thanks for taking the call, guys.
Absolutely.
I've got a question. Fans want Jared Goff in 2023, but say we go 10-7 next year, and we have the 20th pick in the draft, and there's no quarterbacks. What do we do? Because I'm a CJ Stroud guy. I think he has all the tools to be a franchise quarterback. And, Jared Goff, he struggles on the road. He's just really good at home games, and, I really see this Stroud would be a good player.
Can I ask you this? Derek, my question for you is, okay, so you believe in Stroud, and if you're the GM, that means whether you're at pick 5, 6, 7, you're going to do whatever it takes to get him, right? Whether it's moving to the top 3, top 4, you're going to have to make that move. I don't mind it. I just don't think Brad Holmes is going to force his way to draft somebody unless, like you, he is on the Bryce Young or CJ Stroud train, and he's like, these are my guys, I have to get them. Then we're going to be talking about Brad Holmes moving up in the draft and taking a flyer on the guy. But with Jared Goff playing the way he is, if I'm honest with you, Derek, this is looking like he's going to be the guy next year. And in 2024, you're going to draft your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we're going to do in the 2024 draft. Obviously, that's ways away. But, we might, with the system with that Rams pick is, if it's 3, if it's 4, we'll see. But I'm eager to see what they do this offseason. It's going to be an interesting one.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Derek. You have a great rest of your day, buddy.
Thank you, Derek.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Stroud, interesting. That's the first Stroud caller we've had.
I think there's a crowd of Stroud lovers, or at least they.
I don't blame them.
No. It's not a bad
Even
thing.
if
But
I don't
think they've come out and said it because of that. We talked about the Michigan game, and we talked about Bryce Young.
We'll see after Georgia.
A lot of people, I think,
saying.
like C.J. Stroud.
He
I
can
prefer
change
Bryce.
that whole narrative against Georgia.
Oh,
by
absolutely.
The way.
You go out
he
there,
will
you beat
get himself
Georgia.
drafted if he has a game against Georgia. Probably first overall for that fact.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the attributes, the size, more than Bryce Young. So we'll see. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. Let's have the conversation. We'll get to best bets at 9:40, along with game predictions. But before we go, Jeff, the best defense on and off the field.
Well, I'll tell you a good defense, and gosh, wish the Lions had guarded an alarm this weekend because they're consistent, they're reliable, and they're always going to be there to protect your home when you need them. If you call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800, say it fish, stay out. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes present Hope for the Holidays. Jeff Okuda gives his financial support, time, and love for the city of Detroit with Chad Johnson and his amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. Together, Jeff and Chad have been game planning all year long to make this Christmas one to remember for underprivileged children and their families. Special thanks to Lions players Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and more, along with Lions alumni Lomas Brown and Joyak Bell, and the awesome people at Lighthouse Coolidge Community Building in Oak Park. Together, we'll make sure every child has new shoes, warm coats, hats, and socks, plus free haircuts to help everyone feel their best. And don't forget Woodward Sports' Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, and Darren McCarty will be there too. Hope for the holidays from Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. you get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Check out Moneyball Sportswear because it is your one-stop shop. Whether you want the latest look in athletic apparel or you simply need new uniforms for your team, Moneyball has it all. Stop in Moneyball's showroom in Southfield and experience the only way to ball, or visit moneyballsportswear.com.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Thank you to everybody joining us this morning. This is going to be quite the weekend, and you could imagine this game is, you can say come down to coaching and the defense and St. Brown or Jefferson, but we are looking at two turnover-prone quarterbacks. There's no denying it. Who, over the last few run of games, actually have not been turning the ball over and have been pretty effective. And in the last 5 games, what do the Vikings and Lions share in common? They're both 4-1. Which quarterback will look like their typical/average self? Will it be Kirk Cousins? By the way, it's not a primetime game. Or will it be Jared Goff, who at home has been pretty damn good, actually? That, to me, is the matchup. That, to me, is who's going to win this game? The quarterback that plays better. And you know what? You could say that most weekends, but it's never been more true this Sunday. Vikings, Lions, Cousins, Goff. Which quarterback comes down 10, 15%? And which quarterback maybe plays above their level? To me, that's the conversation, Jeff. Who turns the ball over, who doesn't? These quarterbacks are who I'm watching on Sunday.
Yeah, no question. Very similar quarterbacks. Obviously, Jared Goff, the difference between them is Jared's had postseason success, but this isn't the postseason. I mean, this is a home game late in the season. And again, Jared Goff at home, that's where he plays his best football. And we've seen that all year. Kirk Cousins, like you said, it's not prime time, so you're going to see Kirk. But even not in prime time, Kirk has shown he could turn the ball over. The biggest, I guess, similarity between the two is if you can get pressure on either of these quarterbacks, it's going to make their job a lot harder, just like any quarterback. But for these two specifically, under pressure, they're not the best. So that's going to be, the deciding factor. And I think Jared Goff has the matchup advantage here. I mean, he has the better offensive line. He has at least guys, not weapons like Kirk Cousins, but still an offensive line that can protect him. So Kirk Cousins, the key to success is simply just putting him under pressure. That's what they were able to do early in the season as well. The secondary played well. Jeff Okudah having safety help for Justin Jefferson. I know Thielen got free for a touchdown, but still, nonetheless, overall, this defense has to have that bend, don't break. And they got to get after Kirk and make him uncomfortable. But both these quarterbacks, Adam, it's going to be a battle. I mean, I would probably give the edge to Jared simply because it's at home. And I think he's riding on an all-time high of confidence with how this offense has been playing. With Kirk and the Vikings offense, they've been good at times. They've struggled at times. It's been up and down. They've won a lot of close games, but give me Jared Goff in this advantage. I think he has it coming into this game.
Both teams 4-1 in their last 5 games. Jared Goff has not thrown an interception in his last 5 games.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
Or excuse me, he's thrown 1 in his last 6. I apologize. You know how many Kirk Cousins has thrown? 4. So he's been making the mistakes.
Right.
He's been turning over the ball even when they win games. So if you're the Lions and you've been winning the turnover battle recently, and that's why you're winning games now, and the defense is playing better, the question becomes how many turnovers? Can you get Kirk Cousins in a place where he's going to give you 2 interceptions?
Right.
That's the conversation, man. I'm with you. I'm more confident in Goff this weekend. Jameson Williams probably 10, 15% more expanded on the playbook. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, as usual, will be the guy. They're going to run the ball. Swift, the healthiest he's been. I think Goff's in a really good spot right now. My only question for Minnesota is, we know Jefferson, we know Thielen, we know Cook, we know Hockenson. What game plan do you have to ensure that no matter what the Lions do on offense, you're able to go down the field and score? Because again, this is not a complete defense. A defense that's playing above their level at the moment. But if you do decide to shadow a safety on Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, TJ Hockenson, and Dalvin Cook, that's a lot to deal with. I think Minnesota poses a lot of problems. It's whether or not Kirk Cousins is going to be primetime Kirk or 1 o'clock Kirk. Fair or not fair?
No, fair. I mean, I think at the same time, too, you're looking at this defense for the Vikings and the Lions. Both give up a ton of yards. Well, lately, the Lions have been playing better, but I'm talking season-wise. They both give up a ton of yards, but the difference is with both these defenses, turnovers. And I think that's going to be the narrative coming into Sunday is who can protect the football. I know that's the typical, it's cliche, who can win the turnover battle, but that's the reality of this game. I mean, who can take care of the football, Goff or Kirk Cousins? And I think that's going to really turn out to be who comes in victory. And hopefully it's the Lions' defense creating turnovers.
We'll see. It's going to be quite the test. Danielle Hunter on the edge, Za'Darius Smith, and then you have Aiden Hutchinson, Pascal, James Houston now.
And their secondary, it's
Harrison Smith.
It's besides Harrison, it's weak. I mean, they've had injuries at corner.
And Patrick Peterson hasn't been a Pro Bowler like his early days.
Right.
So
he's been
good
opportunistic
at times.
Yeah.
But the Lions, I think, again, they will have their way for the most part with Minnesota's defense.
Yeah.
The question is, can the Minnesota Vikings offense have their way? I think they can. That's the one thing we need to understand. With that amount of firepower, there is no game plan in theory where you're just going to say, let's shut down Cook. Well, then you're going to have to put players in the box. The second you do that, you expose yourself to Justin Jefferson. Well, we're going to put safety help always for the whole game on Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Just hand the ball off here. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to throw it to Adam Thielen here.
Or TJ down.
TJ Hawkinson over the middle.
Right.
It's obviously I'm making it sound much more simple than it is, but I do think Minnesota poses more problems, or just as many problems, as the Lions offense does for the equal side of the ball.
How do you approach it then? Who's your number one? If you're Aaron Glenn,
I have to focus on somebody,
you're game
Dalvin
planning.
Cook.
Dalvin
Cook.
I would agree with you.
I need to limit Dalvin Cook. I don't need them running the ball and getting confidence. I do not want them in play action sets.
No.
If I'm in 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2 situations, Minnesota's very dangerous. Have to avoid it. Dalvin Cook, first and foremost. Jeff Okudah, looking at you. Can you have a big-time game again against Justin Jefferson? Will that require Kirby Joseph? Will that require more help? We'll see. But for me, the focus has to be Cook, because Minnesota, in drop-back situations, are more predictable. It tees off Houston. It tees off Aiden. You get to go after Kirk. Instead of 2nd and 2, 2nd and 4, they're going to go deep play action like Detroit loves to do. Intermediate, underneath crossing routes, a deep shot downfield to Jefferson. Thielen over the middle. Hawkinson underneath. That goes for 12, 15. That's the Minnesota that's dangerous. You take away the run game, you're going to probably see Kirk throw for 270, 290, 300. But is it an effective amount of yards?
And is he turning the ball over?
Are they going to be able to score in the red zone? Score in the red zone if you take away Cook? That's where my head's at.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
No, I agree with you. I think if you stop the run, obviously Kirk and Jared very similar. You want to get both those guys in play action situations, especially with the weapons Kirk has. But on top of that, too, if you limit the run, you limit Dalvin. I don't know if you completely shut him down, but you can limit him. Again, you're forcing Kirk and this Vikings offense
what a shutdown
into more.
Right?
Right, you're not doing. I mean, you're limiting. Right,
It's like
hard
Devontae Smith.
Shut
him
anybody down.
Well, Miles Sanders and A.J. Brown killed you, so what does that mean?
Right, but with this offense, if you could force them into passing sets, not only, like you said, I think you hit on it, with James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, these guys running free, but also you're forcing your quarterback to completely just stick to passing the ball when he's turning the ball over lately. So that's the key to success.
You got it,
You
man.
want to put the ball in Kirk's hands. That's what you want to do.
Let's take a quick break. When we get back, I'll give you my best bets for the weekend, all NFL bets.
Oh.
We're not touching the World Cup. I will do that irresponsibly, but I will responsibly give you NFL Sunday bets. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. But before we go, Jeff, could you do us a favor and tell us about our good friends over at Big Boy?
Yes, because wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. But how about breakfast as well? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The Lumberjack, Santa Fe Garden, or Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized, trained, and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
Chili Peppers, Dan?
Okay, we are back live. WoodwardSports.com. Let's start with best bets, and then we'll get to the Lions of Vikings game predictions. Guys, it's been about 3 weeks, I believe. 3 weeks exactly since I've given you best bets with the Lions in it. Mm-hmm. And the Lions are going to make an appearance this week on best bets. I typically avoid it, but I have no choice. I will save it for the end, though. We'll start in Buffalo. Buffalo are 10-point favorites against the New York Jets. That's a lot of points. This has push written all over it. But give me the New York Jets and 10 points. I love the 10 points here. Anytime you can get me a playoff team that's a touchdown dog, a 10.2 score dog, oh man, I jump on it. So give me the Jets first and foremost. Second of all, I'm going upset this weekend. You guys know what I bet all year. I stay true to my word. This has been one of the most successful bets I've given individually all year. A 73% hit rate this year. Home underdogs. When you can get them, grab them. Giants over the Eagles. Home underdogs this weekend. Plus 260 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Give me the Giants on the money line.
Oh.
A tricky game, but nonetheless another underdog. Not a home underdog, but an underdog nonetheless. The Tennessee Titans have been struggling. They've somewhat lost their identity on offense. Defensively, struggling. They're home to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm taking the 3.5 points with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me the Jags to cover. I think they lose by maybe a point, but I like Jacksonville to win this game. I don't mind you taking the money line as well, but I'm going to give you the 3.5 points for Jacksonville. The fourth and final game before we get to the Lions. This is a hard one for me because I think you all know what I think of San Francisco's team. Brock Purdy. I know he's not the best quarterback, but Kyle Shanahan finds a way to make it work. But you're giving me Tom Brady as a road dog against a team without their starting quarterback?
Smells fishy.
Why are you teasing me? Vegas is telling me something here. And what they're telling me is they're misreading the room. I understand San Francisco's at home. I understand San Francisco have one of the best rosters in the NFL. I am not going against Tom Brady as an underdog road team. I love this bet. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the money line plus 154. So just to recap, the Bucs money line, the Jaguars to cover, or you can take them as an underdog money line. Your call. I'm going to go Giants at home on the underdog line. Give me the Jets to cover the 10 points. And now we're going to talk the Lions-Minnesota game. This is the easiest sure lock bet of the motherfucking weekend. You cannot fucking convince me otherwise that there isn't a greater bet than the bet I'm about to give you right now for this game. The Lions are one of the top 8 offenses in the NFL. And the Vikings find their ways to score. And we're not betting the spread. We're not betting anything to do with the money line or the points.
Right.
What we're going to take is the alternate over. We're going to take the alternate over at 52.5. And if you don't want to be a little risky, you don't want to be greedy like I am, take it at 50.5. Take it at 51.5. I don't care what you do. Take the over in this game, anything over 50 points. This is going to be a 28-27, 30-31, 30-27. This is going to be quite the game. I expect a big-time game. I do think both defenses will struggle to find solutions for both offenses. Give me the over in the Lions game. It's at 51.5 right now. You can buy 52.5 alternate. That's what I'm doing. Feel free to buy 50.5 alternate if you're unsure, but 51.5, that's the number. Take the over. The Lions have been exceptional all year on hitting the over. I love it. Lions have been one of the better teams at home, and their game's hitting the over. I love it. It's my favorite bet of the weekend. And this is the worst part of the weekend. We got to call the game.
Yeah.
So I'll start this time because I've been missing the last few weeks. And it's usually because you start first. I'm just going to blame you. Give me the Lions to win, Jeff.
Yeah.
Give me the Lions to win a very tough game. 31-30. Late field goal wins it for the Lions. It is probably the game of the year between these two teams. I wouldn't say game of the year in the NFL, but this is probably going to be one of the most intense, close, minute-to-minute games you're going to watch as a Detroit Lions fan, this year. Give me the Lions over the Vikings, 31-30, Jeff.
Well, we have a similar score. Give me the Lions as well. They're at home. I think they're going to put up at least 30. And the Vikings will score points, but I do think the Lions' defense becomes opportunistic, can create turnovers at times. Give me the Lions winning 31-24. I think they get out of there with a touchdown victory. I feel good about the Lions heading into this game. I know it's hard to say that. It's hard to be optimistic, but what they've shown me over the last couple weeks is, especially at home, they can put up points, and their defense does play better at home. So given how well they've played, you're hoping they can carry that momentum, against the Vikings. So they'll be ready to play. Give me the Lions to win 31-24.
I love it, Jeff. I'm glad we're agreeing this week. Most of the people would agree with you and I in the chat, the Lions to win. 2 sacks for Hutch incoming. Dirty South Wolverine, I hope you are right, my good friend. That would be very, very nice to see. Ford Field needs new turf. It's the worst field in the NFL. Yeah, I agree. That's a whole different problem, though. We don't need to get into that.
Yeah, a lot of NFL teams need new
Adam,
fields.
put $20 on it for me since I can't bet in Florida. Well, you got it, buddy. I'll make it happen for you. I'll make it happen. Let's see what else we got here. JMO gets his first touchdown. Wouldn't surprise me.
Would love that.
I said that to my buddy last night. I love the optimism from all of you. Let's take a break. When we get back, mailbag. Get your questions in the chat right now. Jeff and I will answer them. We'll wrap up the show, and we'll head into a great weekend. Very optimistic for this Lions game right now. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Well, guys, with the holiday season here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you to insure those gifts of jewelry or collectibles. Because in the last 2 weeks, Swiss Insurance has saved its clients an average 26% on their insurance premiums while still increasing coverage. That's a lot of money to free up for the giving season. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, excuse me. Merry Christmas. Man, we're past Thanksgiving. From Swiss Insurance. And don't forget, go blue.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
All right, let me tell you about my good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. They have decked out downtown Detroit this holiday season, so go to the Monroe Street Midway. They have a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the lodge before and after the games. Shop, eat, and play downtown at Decked Out Detroit. Mailbag time, Jeff. I'll let you start with the questions. What do we got today? How much workload would you like Swift to see this game, Jeff?
Similar workload than he saw last week, right? I mean, giving him, 8 to 10 carries, getting him involved in the passing game. That's what I want to see. I want to see him and Jamal. Maybe Jamal gets the slight edge over the carries like he's been doing, but I want to see Swift involved. I think the game plan they had for him against the Jags was perfect, man. I mean, just mixing it up, whether he's running the football, getting the football, lining up at the slot, whatever. Just get DeAndre Swift involved, man. I just want to see him out there. He's shown he can be a playmaker, and he's getting healthier, so that's the benefit. What else do we got here? Adam, what do you think about getting Addison with our second first-round pick? Our wide receivers will be a problem.
No.
No.
I mean, come on. Jared Goff is your quarterback. Why is he successful? Running game, setting up play action. You're going to want to go for a tight end in the 3rd or 4th round. You're going to want to address the guard position 3rd or 4th round. You're going to want to probably go for a running back in the 2nd round. So, no to the wide receiver.
This one.
If JMO is what you want him to be, no need for wide receiver.
This question, too, mailbag by Zach. What would be a bigger accomplishment for the state of Michigan? Lions make the playoffs or Michigan wins the championship?
Oh, Michigan winning the natty. It's not even
the
close.
natty versus making the playoffs are different. But can we have both? I mean, that'd be nice, too. State of Michigan needs something like that. But yeah, I would say Michigan winning the natty.
All right. Adam and Jeff, what do you think of Chark this weekend? You think him and JG keep it rolling after how much they were clicking last Sunday?
I really hope so. With this secondary and how bad this secondary for the Vikings have been, I know Harrison Smith, great safety, but still, they're corners. They might have another opportunity to connect deep with Chark, and I'm curious to see how they execute it, because Chark having basically 100 yards against the Jags, I know it was his former team, but I want to see Chark get involved this week. I do. But who knows? With Jamison coming back, we'll see who that affects. Probably Josh Reynolds, to be honest with you.
All right, you guys are asking for anytime touchdown scores in the NFL this weekend, so I'm going to give them to you right now. We'll start in the Lions-Vikings game. We're going to go Dalvin Cook anytime touchdown score. Actually, I take that back. We're not going to go Dalvin Cook. We are going to remove him. We are going to go Adam Thielen anytime touchdown score. We'll get plus money for that. We'll go to Baltimore-Pittsburgh. We're going to go anytime. Oh, that's not giving me the option, so we'll move on. We'll go to the Giants game, anytime touchdown scores. We're going to go Jalen Hurts to rush in a touchdown. We'll go to the Bills game versus the Jets. Anytime touchdown score, give me Stephon Diggs. Anytime touchdown score between Jacksonville and Tennessee, give me Trevor Lawrence on the ground. I like plus money always. Chiefs at Broncos, give me Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown score. Panthers Seahawks, anytime touchdown score, we'll go Kenneth Walker. And we'll call it that. That's if he plays. Seems like he is, but those are the anytimes for the weekend. A lot of risky business. All right. What other questions do we have, Jeff?
Mailbag, if the Lions win this weekend, do you see any of the last 4 games getting flexed to a later time, or do you see them being at 1 o'clock through the rest of the season? And if so, which game? I think so. I don't see any of these games after Minnesota. I think Minnesota is probably the biggest game, at least locally, maybe even nationally, because of what it means. I mean, the Lions facing the Vikings. Lions playoff hopes are alive. If they beat the Vikings, I mean, the Jets game, I don't see that getting flexed. I don't see it getting flexed against the Carolina Panthers. I don't see the Bears, the Packers. I just don't see it, but you never know. What other questions do we have? Adam, what gift should I gift my wife? She likes gnomes.
I don't know, dude. I'm horrible with this stuff. You're asking the wrong guy.
It's the most random question.
Why flex them? They have to win out no matter what, so perhaps the final game. Yeah, I agree with that. By the way, we all know Maz is going to be riding Baker Mayfield all afternoon after that game.
You guys have no idea.
That's why I will not be tuning in.
You guys have no idea.
I do not want to hear it.
Maz was giving it. He was bragging a little bit in a group chat. He was texting last night, talking his ish, which deservedly so.
Right, ish.
For one game.
Ish.
We'll leave it at that. Give him some credit.
Should have traded Josh McDaniels for Paul Whalen. Nobody listened to me. How big of a workload would you like to see J-Mo get? I still think it's early for him, but I'd like to see him get 4 targets. Just 4.
Yeah.
Not asking for 7, 8, 9 targets. Give me 4 targets for Jameson. Get him out of the backfield in the slot and underneath or out of screen. I don't care. Get him. Get his feet wet.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to ask for.
Get him the football. Just, put it in his hands.
That too.
Allow him to get tackled.
That too. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Is there betting odds for both U of M and Ohio State in the national championship game? I have not seen that. There may very well could be. I have not seen it. Who wins, Lions D-line or the Vikings D-line, Jeff?
Oh, I'm putting my confidence in the Lions D-line because of who they're facing. I don't think I have a lot of confidence. Now, the Vikings D-line has more talent. Zadarius Smith, Hunter, but I have more confidence in the Lions offensive line, being able to protect Jared Goff and being able to at least hold those guys off for the most part. So I would put more confidence in the Lions defensive line going against the Vikings offensive line.
Very good, very good.
How do you feel about J-Mo playing gunner on punt team? I hate it completely. I mean, I don't understand it. I never will. I'm going to leave that to the professionals and the coaches. But when I first saw that, I was so confused. I mean, for a guy who, he played gunner in college, but coming off an ACL injury, your first-round pick, I would keep him off special teams completely. But what do I know? I mean, we'll see. I know he wants to play special teams, but he can want to play special teams. You got to protect your own players. So we'll see. Well, hopefully it doesn't end badly. Do you draft Stroud if he's there? That's up to Brad Holmes. Personally, no.
You guys know how I feel about quarterbacks.
We've
I'm not going to sit
that.
here and tell you who to draft
I would not.
in November. December. I'm not doing it.
Especially
once draft time comes, I'll tell you my feelings on Stroud and Young and who I think you should or shouldn't move up for or stay put and draft, yada, yada, yada. I'm not doing that right now.
And another question, can you see the Lions breaking the Vikings and Cousins?
No, you can't break a 10-2 team.
Define break like that. You beat them and they go on this losing streak?
No,
I don't think so.
They're not. They're too talented. They're too talented, and they're going to lock up the division likely in the next few weeks. Where can I get a hoodie like that, Jeff?
Honestly, I've had this for a while, so I don't know the destination, but I'm sure you can find it probably anywhere.
What would you do if the NFL came calling to make Ben Johnson or AG and head coach? I'd probably let AG walk. I would back up the Brinks truck for Ben Johnson, but at the end of the day, I can't force either of them to stay.
No.
So
if you have, there's 32 jobs.
They're going to leave eventually.
Yeah.
If they keep coaching like this, they are going to leave. You think they draft defensive backs in the first round? I hope so.
I really do.
I would love to see a corner with that second first overall pick. That second first round pick.
Yes, I would as well.
When the Lions win on Sundays, are fans that come after the win officially on the bandwagon? I don't know, guys. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't fault people, especially Lions fans. I think they deserve the pass of this, of being skeptical, of not being completely on board yet. I'm not going to say, well, they're bandwagons. Well, if you look at the franchise's history, I mean, everyone knows what they've had to go through, what they've had to endure. So I don't think. Now, nationally, if you're seeing people, discuss the Lions, I would call those people bandwagons. But no, if you're a Lions fan, you're skeptical, that's perfectly fine. Guys, how much do we think Goff gets paid per year?
They're not extending him anytime soon.
We're going to wait on that.
He's under contract after this year for 2 more years. You are not going to extend him. Unless he is going to say, hey, I'll take a 4-year deal at $23-25 million a year.
Yes.
That's the only way I see that working.
Swampatek says, you guys' thoughts on re-signing Jamal Williams? I wouldn't mind Jamal. I mean, I think he'd be a cheap option. He's always healthy. He's consistent. Yeah, he's a leader. Love what he brings, his personality. So, and he runs hard. So, give me Jamal Williams. I'll re-sign him.
Which quarterback would you draft if they fell to the Rams pick?
I've already made this clear for
Bryce
me.
Young?
It's Bryce Young or bust for me. Like, if I'm not getting Bryce, just passing all the quarterbacks, you could take whoever you want. So,
Lions fan Haas says, is there a loyalty play here to lean on considering Dan put Ben on? Odds of Ben opting out to see things out and jump on the gun at a head coaching job? No, I disagree. First of all, Dan did not hire Ben Johnson originally.
Patricia
Ben Johnson
did.
had been here from the Patricia days. Ben Johnson was a play call designer towards the end of last year and really forced his way into the conversation with Dan Campbell. Campbell was still very hush-hush about it in the offseason. They named him the offensive coordinator, but you weren't sure if he was going to call plays. And then finally it was just obvious the kid is special. You have to let him control the offense. He does. You have a top 8 offense. The rest is history. But I'll say this. He leaves for one job right now. LA. He goes to the Chargers, 100%, if they offer him the job. Any other job right now, he probably says no and stays for next year.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
That is the only job at the end of the year. For me, if I'm Ben Johnson, I can't pass up on.
The only other
You're giving me Justin Herbert? Yeah, I'll take that job. Everything else, I don't care about rookie quarterbacks. I don't care about a quarterback here or there. I don't want to coach Kyler Murray. I'll wait. I'll wait for the right opportunity unless it's LA. That, to me, is the job for Ben Johnson where I can't stop him from leaving. But if it's any other job at the moment, Houston, Denver, I'm not going there if I'm Ben Johnson. I got a top 8 offense here. I can continue to show my stuff. And on top of it, more important than anything, I have options. I get to wait out next year, and I get to see the new staff of hires and firings and what the rosters look like and what picks they have. I get to see the field more instead of rushing into the job. I think Ben waits. That's it for us. We're out of here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure you like the video before you go. Appreciate it. As always, Lions play the Vikings on Sunday. Make sure you watch the pregame show. We'll be there as always. Jeff and I both think the Lions will win. You all have a great weekend. Until Monday, we'll see you then.
Go watch World Cup. How do you not?